seats over here. If anyone would like to come sit down, please do. Don't be shy. So I'm Cheryl. I'm the executive director of our nonprofit, which is based here in Washington, D.C. It's called Peace of Mind. We are dedicated to this idea, this vision, that all children, there's some slides over here if you would rather look, but all children have the skills to grow into kind human beings who can build positive relationships, skillfully face challenges with courage and compassion, and become peacemakers in this world. This is why we're here as an organization. This is what we do. And the way that we do it is we work to educate children about mindfulness, brain science, gratitude, kindness and compassion, conflict resolution, and social justice. We do that work ourselves somewhat in schools, but mostly we're supporting educators throughout this region and across the country who are doing this work with their own students. And many of them are here today, which is really wonderful. And you'll be hearing from some wonderful, incredible Peace of Mind educators over the course of the morning and afternoon. So I've been working with Linda since 2015 to write and publish the curriculum which Linda has developed in her school in BCPS for over 20 years. And we're really thrilled that we formed a nonprofit organization to share all these resources more widely. And you can see them out there on the table. Just a little something that anyone who, if you want to buy a curriculum guide today, you can have 10% off your whole order. I was supposed to say that. Our program includes the Peace of Mind curriculum. You'll see that out there. Well, here's the pillars I just mentioned. Our program includes the curriculum. We have a YouTube Kids channel, which has a lot of curricular resources on it. Very nice, safe place on the YouTube. We have a series of storybooks by Linda that lift up key concepts in the curriculum and share them more widely. And then a podcast for kids and families, which is new and evolving. On the podcast later. So we work with about 30 schools in the DMV. There's some of them here, and I'd be glad to talk to you about how we do that. And there are educators in about 44 states and 11 foreign countries who are using Peace of Mind now. We didn't set out to be an international program. We are really based right here in DC. This is our home. This is where we do our work for the most part and where we support schools one-on-one. But there's a need for this work everywhere, as this group attests. Like, we are pretty honored today that here in this room we have teachers, conflict resolution experts, counselors, other school mental health professionals, social workers, speech and language pathologists, we have nurses, we have scientists, we have students who've all come together around this concept of conflict resolution from the DMV area, but also from Georgia, from Michigan, from North Carolina, from Ohio, from Pennsylvania. And we really are grateful that Maine, from Maine, a big contingent from Maine. And we have people registered from the country of Turkey and from Canada as well. I'm not sure they've made it. But anyway, we're just thrilled that you're here today, and we hope that you leave, our hope is that you leave today a little more equipped and a lot more inspired to keep teaching peace and knowing that you're part of a community that shares that goal. And so one more thing I wanted to say is that as a nonprofit, we are so grateful to the Carroll Family Charitable Foundation, which allowed us to make this event free today to everyone. It's meaningful to us, and we hope to you that we can provide really extraordinary experiences at low or no cost to our educators. That's very important to us. We don't want there to be any barriers to entry to this work, which feels urgent. So I'm very grateful that they could support it and that we could all be here together. And we're really grateful too to Just Iced Tea for the donation of some fabulous drinks for lunch, and Bullfrog Bagels for helping us put together a wonderful lunch spread. For those of you who ordered lunch, there's still some more if you want one. So that's it. I think I'd like to turn it over now to Linda.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Linda. I'm so happy to see you all today. Some of you I know and some of you I don't, so I'm excited to get to know all of you today. And I'm really thrilled to have some of my former students now. As Cheryl said, I was created this program over the past 20 years at Lafayette Elementary School. I retired from teaching in June, and so since then I've been working full-time with Cheryl on Peace of Mind. And so it's certainly bittersweet to leave the classroom, but just really exciting to get to go to other schools and see people using the curriculum and doing all kinds of cool things with it. And so you're going to hear from some of those people today. I wanted to also introduce, we have some social media correspondents today, and these are some of my former students, and they might be coming around to interview you. Can you guys stand up? That's Maura and Alexis and Andrew and Marley. And so if they come around and ask you to say a few words about your work or peace of mind or whatever, please talk to them, unless you don't want to be on camera, which is fine. Anything else? No, they're awesome. I'll be introducing some other students in a few moments who are going to do a little teaching with us. I think that was all I was going to say. Oh, I'm going to introduce Syreetta. So, yay. So Syreetta is, this is Syreetta McArthur. She's going to be like our, she's got a fan club back there.
I paid them well.
She's going to be sort of our Emcee for the day. Syreetta is a fantastic educator. I was lucky enough to work with her for a few years at Lafayette, and she is still teaching full-time, but is also working with Peace of Mind as a trainer and advisor, and we're just so thrilled to have her as part of the Peace of Mind team. And don't do it. I'm all, anyway. I can't say that part because it's making me cry. Anyway, I will hopefully say it later.
Yes.
So here's Syreetta.
Well, hi. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be your host and guide for today. We've been looking forward to this since last year, 5 minutes after we finished the conference last year. This is going to be an amazing day. It's going to be a full day. So please make sure you're writing down your notes. Be very reflective. We have so much to share with you. We have an amazing keynote address that will be given by Mr. Darren Cambridge. So please, just take it all in. Meditate on it. If you were here for the opening session with Dave, I hope that you enjoyed that as much as I did. It was great just to connect with everyone. So be prepared for the connections that you're going to make, connections you're going to make to your own life, what you've read, what you're learning, the people that you are sitting beside, behind, in front of. Today is a day of connections because we have to go out and do this amazing work, this amazingly difficult, challenging work that is so necessary and so important, not only for our children, and my former students are in the back, but also for ourselves, because they're going to take care of us, right? And the way that the world is right now, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. So we have no choice. We have no choice, absolutely no choice. We have to make sure that we are prepared, make sure that they are prepared, and that their children's children are prepared. So why not start now? Why not start on this beautiful January day? So I'm so happy to be here. I've been with them for 3 years now, speaking and doing whatever. It seems like forever, but I'm very, very honored. It is a great forever, but I'm so honored and grateful that I came to Lafayette and was introduced to Peace of Mind. Linda and Cheryl and everyone on the board and advisors and Liz and Elizabeth and just everyone, because it has really helped me to grow in my practice as a human, as a sister and a daughter, especially as a daughter. But yeah, I'm gonna stop because I can go on all day about Peace of Mind. It's just, I'm so happy to see all of you. Next year, bring a friend. Yes. Year after that, bring 2 friends. And so on and so forth. Thank you again. I hope you are ready for this amazing day. Please make sure you reference our board. We'll have our agenda up so you know what's coming up next. If you need to move and stretch, as Liz has said, do what you need to do. It's all about taking care of yourself so you can do the work.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right. Turn it over to you and Ellie.
All right. Thank you, Syreetta. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up Elie Goldman. Where'd you go? Come on. When I was considering moving on from teaching P's, it was really a big deal. It was really hard for me to leave, and I couldn't quite imagine turning over my classroom and my students to somebody else. And then I met Elie, and it was just sort of like this magical, perfect fit. So he is the new Peace teacher at Lafayette Elementary School, and Elie and I are going to bring up some of our students who are going to do a mindful moment with us, and then teach us a little bit of American Sign Language, which is something that we've been doing at Lafayette in Peace class, and so I wanted to sort of share with you a little bit of that and why we're doing that. So come on down, you all. Come on, friends. Come on up. Sort of sit. Let's go up on the stairs. You sort of be in the middle, Florence. Come on up. All right. This is so exciting. Maybe stand up so some of you are tall, but you could be kind of this way a little bit, guys. We got to be in between the mics, right? Yeah, we got to be in between the mics. Okay. Is that okay? Come down here. Come down here. Helen, come down here. Choreography. Scoot that way a tiny bit. Florence, go that way a little bit. Is that okay? I'm looking at Leslie because she's filming. All right. So this is Rosie. This is Helen, Florence, Lily, Mason, Rose, Mia, Abby, Logan, and August. They are all amazing mindfulness teachers. How many of you have been in Peace class for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? So they really know what they're talking about. So they are going to lead us in a mindful moment called Gravity Hands. Come on, don't you come down here. Get Lily the bell back there. Lily, you gonna ring the bell when we're done? Okay. Yeah, do that. Okay. I'm gonna turn it over to Florence. She's gonna explain how to do gravity hands, and then everybody will demonstrate, and then you can lead a moment with them. Good? Okay.
Gravity hands is one of our mindful tactics that you can use to calm down and breathe in and out. So it goes like this. Bring your hands up as you breathe in. Turn them over and bring them down as you breathe out. In. Out. So you can use it as long as you need to calm down, and it's very helpful, and I've used it countless times, and I'm sure everyone else here has. So,
all right. So do you want to leave it the way we do it in Peace class?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll invite everybody to close their eyes or look down. Get into your mindful bodies. And start gravity hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out.
And when you hear the sound of the bell, you can open your eyes to open the bell.
Thank you. All right. So this is how every Peace class starts. So these guys have been doing this for a really long time. And can you see Augie if I stand here? One of the things that is sort of a non-negotiable when we're talking about peace of mind and the way we teach mindfulness is that we always have a student co-lead a practice. And they start that when they're really little. And what's really cool about that is that like they quickly become mindfulness teachers and are able to share these practices at home with their friends. We've had kids talk to us about, sharing this on the sports teams that they're on or their dance troupe, like Marley did. I think that's really important, and I think it makes the practice seem more like, something that really belongs to them. I wanted to share a little bit about something else that I started doing in Peace class last year, during my last year of teaching at Lafayette. I had one student who was having some challenges, a lot of physical challenges, and he was not able to speak. And it was becoming a bigger and bigger problem, and he was getting more and more frustrated, and so his behavior was getting a lot worse. And so his teachers talked about maybe trying to teach him some simple sign language so that it would make it easier for him to communicate. So I thought that I would spend a little time over the summer trying to learn a little bit, especially to help him in Peace class. I thought it would be helpful to learn how to express his feelings. So I focused on learning how to say some of the different emotions in sign language. And I thought it was going to be like just a really brief thing that we were going to do for maybe 1 or 2 classes. But once I started to introduce sign language to the kids, they really, really got into it. And they really enjoyed it. They used it. And it became a way to teach about emotions that was so much more meaningful than any of the other things that I had tried. I always felt like that was sort of a weakness of the curriculum, was really talking about like the embodiment of feelings. It just wasn't my best thing, and I wasn't really that good at teaching it. The cool thing about sign language is that so often the signs for different emotions really evoke that emotion, and you almost have to kind of feel it or pretend you're feeling it in order to do the sign for an emotion. And so we spent a lot of time as we were learning the sign language talking about what feelings and emotions feel like in your body. And so it really became something that was super useful. It also became just really popular at school, and I was teaching all the 2nd through 5th graders then, and so everybody was learning sign language, and kids were using it a lot to talk to each other, sometimes to sort of secretly talk to each other, and their teacher didn't know what they were saying. Sorry about that. But you'd go down to the cafeteria, and kids were doing sign language when they weren't allowed to talk, and it was cool. I discovered later that there was like a lot of research about teaching sign language to kids who can hear, that there were all these benefits to it in terms of language development and social emotional learning and just connecting, confidence. Like I was really pretty shocked. That wasn't the plan, but it just turned out to have all these great effects. And so I kept it going through the whole school year. And and if you're familiar with the curriculum, you'll know that one of the important pillars is kindness. And so we always, every week, we have kindness pals. And the kids get assigned someone in the class, just any random person in the class, and their job is to be kind to that person and get to know them a little bit, not telling them that they have to be friends with that person, but they have to learn to be kind to people that they might not like or they might not want to hang out with. And so I started using sign language as a way that they would originally connect with their kindness pal. So we learned how to ask each other, how are you feeling today, in sign language, and then how to answer that. I feel happy, I feel sad, whatever. And so we would do that with our kindness pals, and then we would start walking around the room, asking other people how they were feeling. And it just changed the way the class went, and kids were just a lot more connected to each other. they were supporting each other. Some kids were really good at picking up the sign language really fast, and so they would teach other kids. And it was also a great way to connect with some of the kids who had bigger learning challenges or health challenges or things. And it just really changed things in a big way. And so I was really thrilled about it. I haven't written about it, and so it's not in the curriculum yet, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to share that with you. I am not an expert in any way in sign language. I know a tiny little bit. A lot of these kids know more than I do at this point. But I do encourage you to, there's videos, check it out, try it with your class, and if it's something that excites you, I encourage you to do it. We're going to just do a little bit of a demo. Are you taking over here? I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have the wonderful help, as Linda said. The students here, and as they showed, have been learning PEACE and ASL sign language longer than I have. So they're great models and teachers for us. So we'll have Abby and Rosie model how to ask each other how you feel today. So if you can come down in front of everyone. And also we invite you, if you have two hands free, to take notes and practice along with our students who will be teaching us. After Abby and Rosie ask each other how you feel today, each different student here will model how to say I feel and then a different emotion. And so again, we'll invite you to practice along with them so that we can have check-ins with each other in a little bit. So Abby, do you want to ask Rosie?
How are you feeling today?
I feel loved. How are you feeling today?
I feel frustrated.
All right. Can you stand in front and do it really slowly? Maybe everybody do it together really slowly, and feel free to do it with us.
Yeah, like one word at a
Yeah. Exactly. Remember when we were just like, so how? There are different ways of doing how. So if you're seeing different, you might see this, you might see this, and you might see this. Apparently they're all right. So choose your adventure. So how you feeling
Today.
Let's do it again.
How are you feeling today?
One more time.
How are you feeling today?
Great. Now we'll go down the line here, and Lily will show us how to say I feel happy. And let's make sure we're going slowly and mindfully so we can all learn and practice.
So I feel happy.
Thank you, Lily. Mason, I feel thirsty.
I feel thirsty.
Thank you. Rose, I feel hungry.
I feel hungry.
Thank you. Mia, angry.
I feel angry.
Thank you. And as you notice, they'll also emote those feelings and emotions with their face. As Ms. Ryden said, it's great to balance out the nonverbal communication as they show. Thank you. Abby, frustrated.
I feel frustrated.
Logan, confused.
I feel confused.
Thank you. August,
I feel sad.
thank you. Florence, tired.
I feel tired.
Thanks. Helen, excited.
I feel excited.
Thank you. And Rosie, no, that was Rose. Rosie, loved.
I feel loved.
Wonderful. So we usually review 10 to 12 or 13 different emotions and how to sign them. And it should also be noted at Lafayette, there is an American Sign Language club after school that since being introduced into the Peace class has really exploded in popularity, and I think is one of the most, outside of Mindful Mentors, maybe the most popular club in the school with 40 or 50 students attending after school each day. So after we've reviewed ASL with the students, they received their Kindness Pals if they haven't already received them earlier in the week. And then they have a check-in with each other in sign language. So we usually end the class this way. And it's a wonderful, it's not always wonderful to end in silence, but it's a silence that is communicating a lot. So I'll read out the Kindness Pals for today. Again, you don't have to be best friends with your Kindness Pal, but you do have to be okay with checking in with your Kindness Pal. So you'll notice each of the students reacts in a certain way once they hear Kindness Pal, so that no one feels isolated or left out in case you get paired with someone who you might not be super excited about being paired with. So here are our Kindness Pals, and you're welcome to join in once you hear the chant. Lily and Logan.
Okay.
Helen and Mason.
Okay.
Rose and August.
Okay.
Mia and Florence.
Okay.
Abby and Rosie.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
Abby and Rosie, and then Rose, Wilkins, and August. Thank you. Awesome. So we'll watch them have a Kindness Pal check-in with their Kindness Pal. And then after that, we'll invite you all to turn to your neighbor and practice asking each other how you feel today. And we'll also invite our Kindness Pals here to go practice with you. But let's start by watching them find one another and check in with each other. Thank you. Usually when we have more time, they raise a silent hand and they look for another student with their hand up who is ready to check in with someone else. But in the interest of getting you all involved, we'll take a few moments now. Let's all model one more time slowly, showing how you feel today. 3, 2, 1.
How are you feeling today?
Awesome.
And then how we answer?
How we answer?
I feel
Let's go through happy,
happy,
excited,
excited,
hungry,
hungry,
and thirsty,
thirsty,
and sad,
sad,
and angry,
angry,
and confused, frustrated, and frustrated.
Love.
Oh yeah. And love. Many emotions. Rosie?
And silly.
Silly. Awesome.
Okay. All right. So yeah, fine. Just turn to somebody next to you. Try it out. No pressure. And these guys will come out and help you.
Okay, so sure. Walk out and help. We're done.
Yeah.
All right, if you could come back to your spot. Kids, come back up. We're going to say goodbye to the kids. So, sorry. Woo! Sorry, Leslie. So, I hope that is inspiring to you. You want to try it out. We really enjoyed it. Thanks to you guys for all your help. I want to just point out, Mason, will you wave? So, as some of you might know, I've written a bunch of books for kids, and often the books are inspired by some of my real students, and some of these guys have already been in some of my books. My new book is called Mason and the Conflict Cat, and that Mason is so yeah. We're going to talk more about this, but this is a collector's item because there's only 10 of them because we made a mistake and we have to reprint it. So, but if you want Mason to sign your book.
Yay!
All right, so let's say thank you to the kids. Thank you, you guys were amazing. You guys are free to go. Okay, don't leave without your grown-ups, okay?
We won't.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. All right. Now, Syreetta and Marley, come on up. So speaking of books, the books that I wrote are up on the shelf there. This is Marley, and she was the inspiration for my book, Marley is Mindful. She was a lot younger back then, but she's wearing her hair the same way. Just make me feel better. I'm going first. Yeah. It's me again. So we wanted to just take a moment to kind of ground us in why we're here today and the theme of this conference, which is conflict resolution. And like I said, I wrote a book this year about conflict resolution that I had been meaning to write for a long time because it's a big part of the Peace of Mind curriculum. And Peace of Mind really started as a conflict resolution program, and I didn't set out to create a mindfulness program. But what I found was, as I was teaching conflict resolution, it really didn't work. And in the process of trying to figure out how to make it work, I sort of discovered mindfulness and the impact that that had on kids and how they can regulate their emotions. I learned about brain science and kind of understood like why, the neuroscience of anger and what happens in our brains when we get angry. And so when I started to teach those things to the kids, then the conflict resolution stuff that I was teaching started to really work and really stick. And so that's sort of, in a nutshell, that's the Peace of Mind origin story. But really, like, my intention was to create a program that would help kids learn how to be peacemakers and to make the world a better place. And this was, right after 9/11, and, it was a bad time, and I thought things would be better by now, but we're going to keep trying. So I just wanted to just raise up a couple of things. When I wrote this new book, I dedicated the book to one of my former students, and like many teachers, sadly, she is one of the students that I have lost. And she was an amazing kid. I knew her when she was a little girl until 5th grade, and just bright and funny and really memorable. I taught a lot of kids. She was a really memorable kid. And she was killed by stray gunshots a few days before she went to college. And I have her picture on my above my desk, and I think about her every day, and I dedicate my work to her memory and the memory of all of the children that we've lost. And so I just wanted to raise up Jamari, and as we all know, like, things are rough right now. Things are in our city are rough right now. Things in our world are really, really challenging, and it's affecting all of us. It's affecting our children, and it's easy to fall into hopelessness. And so I keep having to remind myself that we can't, like you said earlier, like, we don't have any choice. Like, we can't afford to be hopeless, and our children need us to be hopeful. And to work for peace means that we have to imagine this world that we've never seen and we've never lived in, and we have to believe that it's possible. And I do really believe that it's possible. And I believe that the work that we do in this community, and all of you in your spheres of influence are really making a difference, and that we can really make a difference together. And it's something. It's something that we can do, and that certainly helps me get out of bed in the morning and want to face this. And so being here with all of you and having you all show up on a Saturday, and especially those of you who are teaching all week long, that really fills me with hope, and those kids fill me with hope. And so that feels good. And so I want to just to say that before we go any farther today. And we asked Marley, like I said, Marley was the inspiration for one of my books. She was my student for a long time, and she's in high school now. And so I thought it would be interesting for us to hear from somebody in high school, to sort of hear about what it's like, and how important it is to learn about conflict resolution and what a difference that can make. So I'm not going to speak for you, Marley, but please take it away.
I think, like, in high school, there's definitely always some type of conflict or some type of issue or something that's happening that wants to become a bigger conflict. And I think that because I learned skills about conflict resolution, I feel like I really don't get into that many conflicts now, because I also just, like, understand what's going on, I think. I think that's why, like, I give good advice to my friends and stuff too, because I feel like it's not, let me see, like, how should I say it? Like, I think I just, like, understand what's going on better, and I think it's really important because even when I do get in conflict situations, I know how to manage, like, myself and, like, how I feel about it, whether I get, like, sad or upset or angry, because it also helps with, like, the brain science that I've learned. So, like, it helps me understand, like, how I'm feeling, and I think it's also just helped me understand, like, how other people are feeling too, even if they don't understand that. So I know how to, like, approach it and help, like, either mediate the conflict or, like, stop it. So I find it very valuable, and also just, like, I think everybody should know how to do it because there's a lot of conflict right now going around. So I think it's important to know how to, like, what a conflict is, like, because conflict doesn't always, like, present itself the same way. So, like, I think it's important to be able to recognize, like, what a conflict is and how to solve it. And I think peace of mind definitely help a lot with that.
Thank you, Marley. Thank you, Marley.
Thank you.
We can't even look at each other without crying. All right, don't make me cry.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry. So I've been in education here in DC for 15 years. One of my very good friends, Ben, in the back, we started at Brown Education Campus in 2009 together. And in that time, if you're an educator existing, thriving in 2024, you have had some experiences where you've lost students to health issues, to violence, and it doesn't get easier. We had a student who was very reactive to everything, and you don't want to speak ill over a child, right? You don't want that to become true. You could see it. I'm not gonna say it, you could see it. And she ended up having lots of different difficult moments in middle school, in high school. She graduated, she started her life, she had a baby. But that rage, that she wasn't aware of how to control these emotions that were coming up in her and how she would react. She would just, it's in my brain, I'm gonna say it. It's not enough for me to say it, I need to act on it. She was killed at a gas station a couple years ago, at the beginning of 2020. It doesn't get easier, losing a student. That's not the first one I've had who was killed by gun violence. Unfortunately, it won't be the last. I had a student when I was working at another school, and brilliant boy, still alive. This isn't a sad ending. Brilliant boy, but he had a lot going on at home. And with our children, even with ourselves, we didn't have the vocabulary or the know-how to recognize, like, my anger, my words are symptoms of something else. I don't feel safe, I don't feel connected, I don't feel loved in the way that I need to be loved. So when he gets to school and I'm denying him something that I know is going to hurt him, all of it is turned towards me. So he's trying to run through my door and I'm standing in the door because I know he's going to hit somebody out there. But come on, he runs through me and I am a solid person. My family's from North Carolina. Like, you're not going to just run through me. And he bounced off of me, bumped into some chairs, bounced off me again, bumped into some tables. And I didn't know, as an educator, because I hadn't been introduced to peace of mind, that there were other things that I could have done or said, because I was probably making him more upset, right? Just by denying him the ability to move out of that room and that space. Conflict resolution. I'm a former ELA teacher. We teach our students about internal and external conflict, right? Your own conflict, conflict with the nature, and conflict with society, and conflict. But then we don't teach them about their own conflicts and how to deal with them, how to respond, not react, to respond, not react. This is so important. We can't be there every day with them. We can't hold their hands every day. But what we can do when they come into our class, they come into our sphere, we can model, we can teach, we can correct, we can love. I don't want to bury another student. I don't want to be in conflict with anyone. I got my own conflict I have to deal with every Thursday in therapy. Right? I have my own things I have to deal with because of the pandemic that I'm still dealing with, and I'm taking that into a classroom. How can I stop this cycle? What can I do? I can educate myself so that I'm ready, so I can make good choices. So I am just happy to be here, happy to share, happy to learn. This is where we all need to be on this Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So I thank you, Marley. Thank you, Linda. I am now going to bring up Miss Jackie Snowden. I have had the great honor of teaching her grandson, Mason, back there, future author and all-time superstar. But she's an amazing educator. and she has served on the board of Peace of Mind for quite some time. She was there at its impetus. So, Ms. Jackie, the floor is yours.